The region list consulted by the area members of parliament according to the latest opinion poll is Southern at 81%, followed by Eastern at 76%, Kampala 70%, Northern 68%.
The NGO forum and your partners and everybody, these guys from the day they were elected, they started receiving allowances, including that of consulting.
Considering the statistics, Kampala and Northern Uganda are tied in the number of MPs who have consulted their electorate, despite a sharp contrast in the distance between the two. All MPs are entitled to a mileage allowance, which is computed with their monthly salary. A litre of fuel costs about 2,400 shillings for the MPs to go to their constituencies. And let's say an MP comes from an area that is about 200 kilometers away from Kampala. That would cost about 480,000 shillings a month per visit. And if an MP is supposed to be visiting his constituency 3 times a month, it comes to about 1,440,000 shillings. Some quotas believe that if MPs are using that money for other things, then that's a form of corruption.
How can you fight corruption when you yourself, you are showing elements of that nature? That you receive money, you want to go and consult, and you don't go.
This country is short of leaders. It is short of transformative leaders. What we have remained with now at this stage is really what you would call transactional leaders who will, the leaders of Mpankuwe.
That makes a problem. It cripples the service delivery. Because if I know I gave you, and now why should I come back to check?
Although the poll does not indicate the names of MPs who have never consulted their constituents after swearing in, some MPs believe that there are many ways of consulting their constituencies.
Some people have got political assistants and have got offices in constituencies. The way how they get information is somebody's jurisdiction, not anybody's jurisdiction. So everybody has a mechanism, the way. But what I think and what is important is for a member of parliament to see to it that the money appropriated on the floor of the house that is utilized properly so that it does not affect the public service delivery.
The survey further reveals that most of the respondents know who their MPs are and their roles.
Had MPs claim that they're the ones who bury, they're the ones who... If somebody knows that I go there to work for you, and he continues to ask you for money, then there is something missing. Either you promised or you misrepresented.
However, some legislators believe that it is inevitable to dole out money to some people they represent, an action attributed to the indebtedness of many MPs.
Because you cannot fail to stand with someone who is grieved, for example, because they look to us for hope. Not that we buy them, but we are saying, can we be able to identify with you even in times of hardship? If you are failing to maybe complete school fees for your child, not everything you can be able to do it, but there are those that are really needy. Can you be able to stand with them and help them out as a leader?
Some of the MPs blame their failure to visit their constituencies on the shrinking political space.
In my constituency, for example, but I know Kampala in general, playgrounds have been sold. The only now available places could be marketplaces. But again, you could see police harassing you for staging a political rally. How do you consult in such behavior?
According to Moses Bwalatume, Principal Information Officer, Parliament, there is no clear mechanism to verify whether MPs utilize their mileage allowances or not for its intended purpose.
That can only be done if Parliament has constituency offices manned, staffed and resourced by Parliament. That is when Parliament can for sure ascertain that an MP has visited the constituency, he has interfaced with such and such constituents, because there will be personnel paid for by Parliament who would be reporting.
The research indicates that most Ugandans want Parliament to focus on job creation, fighting corruption, lobbying government to increase healthcare budget to 15% and checking government expenditure. Sudil Biarhanga, NTV.